him to my channel.
He's got the same issues that you do, which is he has. I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm gonna do it to you. Did I say yay? Yay, easy. Like yay. Yay, and against me? Yes. All right, yay. On yay. Yeah. So yay. I get it. I know, but you know what? He's wrong. Yeah. I know, but if you're there, he's trying to get in. He doesn't want to be demonetized. He doesn't want to be deplatformed. He can't just hand the mic to somebody and be like, say whatever you want to, because we do know that right now, wherever Kanye's mental state is, he's going to go off on something that can get him deplatformed. I mean, there's a lot of working elements, so for anybody to go into about it doesn't make any sense to me. I think. Now, to be clear, they are defending Tim Pool for not accepting Kanye's anti-Semitism, and they're defending it on the grounds that, like, dude, he's got a business to run, and he doesn't want to get deplatformed. Just so you're clear, that is what... I agree with you. My only slight difference of opinion is if you're worried about being deplatformed by hosting that person, then don't host that person. For example, we met Alex Jones how many times immediately after he was deplatformed. It was a risk we were willing to take. Sure. One time we got removed for it. Another time we didn't. Them's the dice. It's high risk, high reward. Right? If you're trying to have a big name guest, especially someone who, courts controversy. So let me... Well, I honestly like how I deal with honesty, and I don't think he hates Jewish people. I really don't. No, I don't think he hates Jewish people. I think he's been wronged, and I think that he's aiming sometimes a howitzer. He's being imprecise. Yes. But he's not wrong about everything. Look, is there a conversation to be had about... He's not even asking the question. He's asking if the question can be asked. He's aiming a howitzer. But now you're going to see Crowder, who incidentally was saying that on that time that I interrupted his meltdown about having to debate an issue, that some people said that like him calling me beady-eyed was some type of response take your glasses off and see how beady-eyed I was. But nevertheless, here he is about to get less howitzery about anti-Semitism and more surgical. Is there a conversation to be had? No, I don't think he hates Jewish people. I think he's been wronged, and I think that he's aiming sometimes a howitzer. He's being imprecise. Right? Yes. But he's not wrong about everything. Look, is there a conversation to be had about secular humanists with Jewish last names in Hollywood exploiting people? Pause it. No, I'm sorry to pause this over and over again, but this construction, secular Jewish last names, I'm sure it's totally a coincidence, and maybe there's a conversation to be had about this, how this is exactly the same construction that Nazis had. That the cosmopolitan Jew, the one that wasn't really that religious, but was more sort of cultural, was just sort of racially Jewish, not necessarily practicing the religion. That was the real problem. I'm just asking if there's a conversation to be had about how that was not literally a Nazi construction, and Crowder is now deploying it. I'm just asking if that's... Prepare yourself! Maybe you could, or maybe you couldn't. I'm not sure. But let's go back and listen to this. How coincidental it is. Yes. But he's not wrong about everything. Look, is there a conversation to be had about secular humanists with Jewish last names in Hollywood exploiting people in positions of influence? Yeah. And by the way, that happened with conservative behind the scenes. Yeah. People sign contracts with them. They're signing. Yeah, sure. Is there just people with Jewish last names in their bank? That's an argument that can be made. But then we get to because they're Jewish, and now we have a problem with it because it's offensive. Sound
Red team!
Because of the Catholic Church usury.
Defeat!
Spread out throughout the diaspora. They have the ability to form networks which could transfer money. There are other theories that people have had that because Jews were dispersed in the diaspora after the fall of the Second Temple around 32 AD, that Judaism switched from what was a priest-based religion to one that was based on the Torah, and so literacy at a time where there was virtually most people were illiterate became paramount because that was the way that they maintained their religion, which is also, I think, a reasonable explanation. But that there's something to the Jewish last name, or that there's essence, is just full-on. Well, I wonder if there's a conversation to be had that it's also coincidentally exactly what the Nazis said. And I mean, not like the Richard Spencer Nazis. I mean like the Himmler Nazis. Like the Hitler and Goebbels Nazis.
Yeah. It's like there are reasons why, say, a lot of farmers, dairy farmers in this country are Polish or German, right? Like, these are historical. It's not essential to it.
That's right. As soon as you get born Polish, you don't become a dairy.
Squeeze an udder.
Continue. It's inaccurate. So let me first say this. Kanye West has been wrong. And I do think that this matters because it might provide some context as to his mental state. So early November, he released some text messages. I mean, they go into his mental health back and forth with his doctor here. I don't know if we need to go into that this month.
No, we don't need to. But apparently his doctor is Jewish. Is that right? And Kanye is blaming his doctor for his problem, which is also not necessarily atypical phenomenon, or maybe it is a little bit. But
they don't want to go at the doctor's race.
Yes. Generally, that's not what's driving that relationship. But there's Steven Crowder dipping his fingers and his toes into there after he has defended Tim Pool for pushing back on anti-Semitism based upon his desire not to get monetized, and then saying, like, you know, it's a question we should have. I mean, honestly, this guy, and this is what's happening now on the right. The transphobia didn't work. Let's move into the anti-Semitism. And to be clear, this also, and I think there's a conversation to be had, that the nascent Nazi movement was drawing a direct connection between gay people and Jewish people. That is also not anything new. That transition, very easy to make.
Blue team!
Maybe we'll go deeper into that.
You know what's funny? I'm just going to play the beginning of Crowder's show because it was basically 5 minutes of him pre-apologizing to his audience saying, like, some of you are going to like what I'm going to have to say about Kanye and this.
Victory!
And then his ultimate argument was, you can't trust those guys because they've said bad things about Trump because Trump wasn't, like, base enough for him. And so they're actually trying to sabotage him, so don't trust him for that reason.
Right.
Continue.
Crowder both trying to sort of distance themselves from those anti-Semites and being a different type of anti-Semite.
Hey, whoa, that's bad. Really glad to be with you here today. We have a lot to get to.
Nervous he is about like his own audience is going to push back because he knows his own audience is a bunch of bigots. He's a bunch of like 16-year-old boys who have been told, like, you know, anti-Jews bad, and he's afraid. I mean, can you imagine how scared this guy is?
This is so pathetic.
I mean, this also explains a lot about Crowder, too.
Hey, whoa, that's bad. Really glad to be with you here today. We have a lot to get to, and look, I want to be clear about something. It's not lost on me that there are going to be factions, no matter how we address some of these stories. We're not talking about the Elon Musk Apple thing, we're all on board with that. But obviously what happened yesterday with Kanye, Tim Pool, Milo, and Nick Fuentes. And I want to be clear about something you probably have noticed. I'm not in the business of really attacking other conservatives, even if I disagree with them. Because what is it? It's what to what?
Toasty!
Trans male. It's male to female.
Toasty!
Trans. Female to male. It's not man to woman. It's not woman to man. So right away that kind of goes out the window. But let's accept their premise for a second. We know that biology is innate. And
Choose your
certainly is a
character.
I mean, is the normal parlance transgender male, or is it transgender man, transgender woman, trans woman, trans man? He's making this up.
Well, it's funny because he realizes his premise is faulty because, like, people don't say what. Like, we have words like cisgender that, or cis male that you object to.
The amazing thing too that I love about this is, like, remember what he's trying to do is distance himself from the anti-Semitism. And he's kind of like larding in, like, don't forget I'm transphobic.
I hate the left.
I hate the left. I'm transphobic. Let's see if he gets to immigrants. Go.
Many of you also would agree, even if you're just Christian sympathizers or theists, that values are instilled. Right? Values are not universal. You're born male or female. You have no choice of the matter. But values, and you hear this a lot, you know, when I was on YouTube back in 2009, there were no conservatives, there really were no Christians. The common argument was, if I need a flying spaghetti monster to tell me not to kill, then I'm a horrible person. You're just a horrible person using God as a crutch. Well, hold on a second. The idea of not killing, that's not a universal value. Certainly for a long time, killing the weak wasn't considered murder. Mercy is not a universal value. Mercy was
Killing the weak? What is he talking about?
He's going to eventually turn this back on to, like, Kanye's essentialist, I think, is what he gets to. And people was calling him out for that, but he's got to go. Actually, this is about how the left. Maybe the real leftists are lately anti-Semitic people and celebrities.
I mean, this is really, wow, this is really funny. I'm surprised it's not going to send him out. We checked on him today because he's from yesterday. He's going to be in his hospital again for another surgery.
actually seen as a weakness up until modern Christendom. Let's not just use murder as an example. Let's talk about values like theft, the concept of personal property. Hey, why don't you cheat on your wife? Why don't we have child brides? Well, if I need a God to tell me not to have a child bride, I'm a horrible person. Plenty of places. Excuse me.
The age of consent, I don't know where that is in the Bible at all. In fact, child brides is a feature of fundamentalist religion. It is the secular civil society which has the age of consent. In fact, we played a video of Matt Walsh the other day attacking the concept of consent. That it should not be the primary judge of whether sex is good or bad. This is a hallmark of religious fundamentalism that the state really should not be interfering in these things about the age of consent, child bride, but whatever.
I still have child rights. In a lot of these countries, theft is not punishable the same way that it is here. When I go down the list,
Pause it for 1 second. Monogamy is not a religious construct. There's a lot of religions, fundamentalist religions, that have not monogamous.
Rematch. Let's go.
I mean, have to realize.
Abraham, didn't he have like multiple brides?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I did read the Bible last year, but I can't remember all the non-monogamy.
I'm quite sure that there was that we have biblical figures with multiple wives. Well, Mormons certainly did.
Inherently that they are not innate. So we know that biology is innate and values are instilled. The left wants you to believe the exact opposite. They want you to believe, and this is the argument that they're making, that biology is instilled, that gender, and really like we said sex, they're interchangeable now, are...
Didn't 2 minutes ago he just said that left accepts biology, but that feels that gender is socially constructed, or has that changed in the past 30 seconds?
He's really thought experimenting, right?
I'm sorry, I'm hyperventilating.
You're not born male or female, but they want you to believe that values are innate. I don't need a God to tell me to insert whatever it is here. So while we know that biology is innate and values are instilled, and if you don't accept that premise, you are doomed to a society that will crumble because you will have a society that no longer instills values because you take them for granted. And we have a society right now that wants us to believe that biology is instilled by some social construct, but that these values we take for granted, and we take for granted specifically because of the cumulative effect of these values being instilled into the citizens of our nation and the founders of our nation. They want you to believe that those are inherently innate, and there's no risk of those going away. It's the exact opposite. If you do not stay like a dog on a bone in instilling values and reiterating them and strengthening them on a generation by generation basis, you are doomed to fail. So it's not about trans.
Just so reading so heavily. So never go back a little bit there. He's like, is this what's right behind it?
He's talking about Puma and Kanye, and he's blaming the left for it. Like the left was not a part of that.
Well, right. It's because, and he's arguing that the only way that we would know as a society that we shouldn't murder, which incidentally is prosecuted by the state, we wouldn't know that unless there was religion.
Well, it's weird because he's sort of granting the secular argument here that, look, of course we know and we have to keep doing it because God doesn't take care of it. Of course we need society to instill this stuff. He's sort of granting the giant spaghetti monster argument.
Yes, which is that all of these rules are socially constructed, and it's just that they use religion as the way of to maintain them. You know what? The rest of us don't need religion to say that we should murder.
Yeah. Reiterating them and strengthening them on a generation by generation basis, you are doomed to fail.
It's culture. It's just
So it's not about trans and the gender bender or gay marriage or even the whatever the company was that Bella Ciaga, I always forget the name. Some company no one cares about was bondage kids in commercials. It's not just about that. It's about the idea of society itself. And reality and truth. There's a direct attack on truth taking place right now. And I think that's why people are getting so aggravated. And they're not always able to communicate it. We'll be talking about that today. Before we get into anything, I want you to know, I do not think that Kanye West is a dumb person. There's a difference between being dumb and being inarticulate. He's an artist. He's not a speaker. So please understand that as we examine this conversation, it is through the lens of seeking truth. And not to denigrate any one individual, but I do think that we're at a turning point here. We've been making some great strides. And we just can't get over the territory that's been hard fought. Because it's been a long battle. And right now, to the end of the year, all we did is a battle.
Match point. Red team.
And we are closing out our Rebels of the Cause tour. We're just going to fight like hell just to not be removed from venues. Baltimore.
oh my God! Wait a second! So he starts out like apologizing. He's gonna piss off some of his viewers because he's going to criticize. He's going to criticize Milo Yiannopoulos, Nick Fuentes, and Kanye.
Victory!
Being anti-Semitic, although he's going to justify Tim Pool's pushing back on the anti-Semitism because he doesn't want to get demonetized. And he's doing all this because ostensibly we need religion to push the cultural values that murder is wrong. And this is all just a lead up to like promoting his tour.
I like also calling a rapper inarticulate. That's not a problem. He knows what he's saying. He knows what Tim Pool says them, that they're having a difference of opinion on what them meant. And Tim Pool meant mainstream media and Kanye meant Jews.
Right.
Like, he's very articulate.
Yes. It's literally a rapper.
Want more?
Oh, yeah, I just want to see where this goes. I hadn't known in a million years. I wouldn't have said this is going to be a lead-in to his tour. Like, you need to stick with us, even though I don't believe that anti-Semitism is something that we should promote because we're going to get demonetized. It's so hard to express this to you. I know there are factions in our audience who are going to leave me. Dad's going to be pissed.
Strides. And we just can't give over the territory that's been hard fought. Because it's been a long battle, and right now, through the end of the year, all of you, it is a battle of inches. That's why you have to fight like hell. And we are closing out our Rebels of the Cause tour, which has been fighting like hell just to not be removed from venues. Baltimore, December 3rd. See you there. Let's get on with the show.
Wait, what?
That was how he opened the show. What a nice monologue. I certainly feel clear about everything now.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my God. that's what your job is, to go in and, like,
Profiles and
we're really going to thread the needle on this whole anti-Semitism today. Guys, that was awesome. Great job. Great job. I definitely think that we were able to, we didn't piss off anybody with that one.
I think everyone's happy, from the people who don't want us to say the Jews control banking to the people who absolutely do.
That was amazing. And also to sort of just blow through the whole thing of like, the Bible does the same thing about multiple wives or concubines or kids.
I decided to try out for actress, and let me tell you guys, that is the best decision I've ever made.
Tim Pool. Remember, Tim Pool will not now have me on because of that horrible thing I did when Ethan Klein invited me on to essentially crash the debate that Steven Crowder wanted to have with Ethan Klein. That horrific act, unforgivable, of public insolence.
Cowardly, he said.
A cowardly act to come on that way onto the stream.
And that's what you did, was you were cowardly. I was the guy that hung up and ran away from the debate.
I was cowardly
To confront him in that way.
That was too offensive for Tim Pool to have a debate with me. And let's be clear, too. He invited me during the height of the pandemic to come into his studio, and I said,
I'll do a room?
Well, no. He first said, like, come on my show. I'm like, sure, anytime. And then he says, okay, we'll have you fly you down or train you down to the studio. I'm like, well, I'm not coming into the studio because I had already done a Zoom interview with him in the past. I don't know, Zoom, maybe it's Skype or whatever. I had done it. It's online. You can see it. He sort of buried it in his channel because it didn't go exactly as he had hoped. But nevertheless, that's my assumption. Then he said, I can't do it. And I said, well, I can't go down there. First of all, I have kids. I do a daily show. And also, I don't even know what your vax status is. I don't believe in it. So that was right before the huge surge that we had in the winter of, I think, 2021. Anyways, and then so to it, I said, oh, come on. But he wouldn't have been so fast. I know what I mean by Steven Crowder. Anyways, here is him inviting avowed white nationalist, misogynist, anti-Semite Nick Fuentes into the studio with Milo Yiannopoulos, avowed white nationalist, I think, right?
I have to search on
He's Yiannopoulos is also, I guess, gay conversion. Fuentes claims that he's asexual. I am a little suspicious about that claim based upon information that we have, but that's not what this video is about. That'll be for a different time. But, and then also, Kanye West, who has been in, I don't know if you've seen this in the news lately, but he has been a little controversial because he's got a problem with the Jews.
doing DEFCON 3 on the Jews.
Yes, DEFCON 3 on the Jews.
DEFCON 3.
DEFCon 3. And here
Blue
it
team.
is. So Tim Pool invites them in because that is what they're doing is just that's discourse. What I did was a horror show. Meanwhile, so here it is. This is in a couple of parts. Number 10. Right? This is the heart of
Match point. Red team.
anti-Semite claim that's happening.
Victory.
If you read the definition,
It says you can't claim that there's multiple people inside of banks or
Play again.
that are all Jewish
Okay.
or you're anti-Semitic. And that's the truth. Like, it's the truth. What are we talking about? And, well, what do you mean? You mean?
Choose your character.
I'm saying, like, I've been labeled anti-Semite, right? So there's different beliefs about our bloodlines, you know, like the documentary that Kyrie posted. And in general, America has been left ignorant and history has been changed. So when we start questioning things that question the indoctrination, then you immediately get, you know, you said debanked or what did you say happened to you? Demonetized your platform. demonetized. And what's so beautiful about this time is everyone got to see what's really been happening. And now we can really understand. We can see that Ron Emanuel was right next to Obama, and then Jared Kushner was right next to Trump. So we're getting right into it, I guess, right? I was hoping to go from the news first, but then we got into all of this stuff. I think the issue is, one way to put it, is you're expounding upon a localization issue that you've witnessed, right? Let me put that people that probably are here.
Let me just say this about this conversation. And now look, I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't make a diagnosis. But I think there's one person who has talked about having severe mental and emotional issues. I'm rather public about that. And then there's another who's a complete and utter moron. And well, I don't know. You can guess. But what Kanye seems to be saying is that it's unclear what that. One as a chief of staff, that's what Rahm Emanuel was. Jared Kushner is just his daughter, his son-in-law.
Yeah, he wasn't because he was Jewish, because of his family.
Exactly. It's just nepotism. Exactly. But it's quite a coincidence, although chief of staff, just guy who goes out and leverages his position to get money.
Choose your character.
Exactly the same dynamic, but that was what he was trying to allude to, and then he's also bringing in what is known as the Black Israelite ideology. I don't know if these guys are everywhere, but I've seen them for decades. First back in Cambridge in the Central Square, they would get on literally on a soapbox and espouse an argument that they were the true Israelites, ultimately Hebrews, and ultimately Jews. And they had a very, specific ideology. I'm not quite sure. Certainly, there's been, there are different theories about this, but I'm not sure how that plays in. And Kanye has not been exactly forthcoming on how that works in. But I just want to give you an update. And then what Tim said was utter nonsense. I can't even make that up, but we can go back and listen to it again. And that's.
But that was his response to Kanye basically saying, well, look at this. Look at the Jew, the puppet master sitting next to the president. And so now it's time for him to lose. Yeah.
The funny part is that ultimately, and we'll play this clip because it's only fair, ultimately say that Kanye is sort of being anti-Semitic and he thinks that it's wrong, but he won't say it to his face. When he gets a little bit of pushback, Kanye will, well, you'll see.
This is a interesting event.
I think the issue is, one way to put it, is you're expounding upon a localization issue that you've witnessed. Let me clarify. There are a handful of people that you see are Jewish in a certain place, and then you associate Judaism with the power, whereas I view that as not relevant to it. Like, yeah, you're substantially more powerful than I am, but I don't view what you're doing as an issue of black people.
Yeah, but have you ever heard the term no black vote? So it's okay to put us in one net, but it's not okay for me to put them in one net. But I mean, that's the basis of the hypocrisy that people have been thinking about and knowing about and realizing for decades.
Pause it for 1 second. Okay, so understand what he's saying. You can say the black vote, but I can't say, and it's unclear what Kanye is saying because he hasn't quite said it. And then Milo Yiannopoulos, who you'll recall was totally gay, and now now just has a roommate that used to be his husband or still his husband. I'm not quite sure. Because of his pronouns. Yeah, kind of true. And left quite clear, Yiannopoulos seems to want to get in on this too. But understand, well, let's let it play out. We'll break this down.
I've been thinking about and knowing about and realizing for decades, wondering how this dam was going to break. Everybody in the country was wondering, what is the root of this hypocrisy? Why can people talk about white people a certain way? Why can't they talk about that group a certain way? The wretched, wicked, oppressive, prevailing orthodoxy of cancel culture. Well, it turned out that the one thing that was going to break the dam was the biggest star of the world, and it took the biggest star of the world to do it. And now the dam is broken. Let me say my issue. I don't like identitarianism. You guys are familiar with what that is? Yeah, I started it, and they've been on us. When I was asking about running for president, you admitted, you said, well, you're coming from the black vote. And I said, is that because I'm black? Oh, no, not because of that. And so was that. Are you the same thing? I didn't say that was the only reason. I said it was because you're personable to the common person, and you probably would do well with the black vote, absolutely. Just because I'm black, because a lot of black people don't like me.
I think he calls it too, like, I mean, that is, Kanye, actually, I'm surprised that he remembered that, did any research on that. That's something that Tim Pool said. Because that's also really dumb and, like, pandering to black people to wear clothes.
No idea that he's a massive identitarian.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's it. Kanye kind of got him there. Because, like, I don't know that Kanye has some sort of, like, special in with the black community.
Well, first off, there's so many layers of ignorance associated with this. Identitarianism is a specific thing. I think he confuses identitarianism with identity politics.
Blue team.
The identitarian movement, as far as I know, is a European white nationalist movement. So I think he must be using the term, he's conflating identitarianism with identity politics. So let's just assume he doesn't mean white nationalism that like literally promotes
Victory!
Like you could say that maybe Tucker Carlson was an identitarian, but let's talk about identity politics. What was the first example of identity politics in this country? In other words, what was the first mass political movement based around the way that people identify themselves, presumably not involving class, although, maybe sometimes people don't identify themselves as class, but certainly we know that there is, at the very least, a theory that people vote based upon their class interests very much. Certainly the wealthy class does. But what is, if you look at our politics in this country, and you wanted to say what party, for instance, organizes around identity, you would have to look at the Republican Party, the fact that over 80% of the party is white. The overwhelming majority of people who vote Republican are white people. The Democratic Party,
but only whenever I
they
want.
lose the majority of the white vote. They win the majority of black vote. They win the majority of essentially of brown people vote. Not all brown people. It depends on how, like what nationalities within that in terms of immigrants and in terms of like, but broadly speaking, it is a far less single identity that is represented in the party. And to say the black vote, of course you can say the black vote, because it just so happens that, and you can also say the Jewish vote, because blacks and Jews vote very similar to each other. Not necessarily, well, they happen to vote similarly to each other as well, but like Jews vote 75%, I think, for Democrats. Blacks vote something like high 80s, early 90s for Democrats. You can say the Jewish vote you can say the black vote. That it doesn't mean that they all share certain characteristics.
It's a shorthand for electoral trends. It's not like a generalization about all people are this way or all Jews are controlling the media. It's a shorthand.
And also, having a similar ideology or similar material interests is not the same as attributing certain characteristics that are essential to their being to them. Yeah. Just so that we can get that clear, because we're watching two people conflate like multiple things simultaneously.
Leave a little early or be a little late. You'll get there when you get there. Just get there.
Let's go!
Let's go back to speaking about the black book. It's also pretty funny because in fact, Tim Pool does traffic in identity politics.
Yeah, because also just the point I was trying to get at earlier is like if Tim Pool knew anything about Kanye's appeal, Kanye, as rappers go, has some of the whitest fans in music. Like, so Tim is engaging in exactly what he says he's not engaging in. He's assuming that Kanye's fans are black because he's black and he does rap music. And Kanye does have some black fans, but certainly as rappers go, some of the more whiter fan bases.
Blue team.
I mean, Kanye was big, but it's quite possible that amongst the black community, he may get more votes than, let's say, Donald Trump.
Or a standard Republican.
A standard Republican. Oh, shit! He's not going to win.
Match point. Red team.
It is racist that people like Tim Pool think that there's a chance.
Yes, exactly. Like, yes, people tend to want to vote with people who they think have a similar or shared experience to them.
Victory!
Okay? For whatever reason. Certainly in the Republican Party, they all vote for the white guy. And so, but I think like Kanye has shown consistently that he doesn't necessarily share the same political issues, ideologies, needs that most black people have.
Yeah, most black people weren't saying slavery was a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said it was because you were personable to the common person, and you probably would do well with the black vote, absolutely.
Because I'm black, because a lot of black people don't like me.
Of course. I think race plays a role in a lot of things, absolutely. And I think that
I think the construct of race has really been forced upon us as just something for us to be woke about and just constantly talk about and use it as these like walls.
But one second, let me just give Kanye credit for part of what he said. The construct of race has been largely forced upon us. Not, however, so much for wokeness, but
Prepare yourselves.
People could be owned
And oppressed
created
for labor.
second-class citizens and become a permanent underclass to the extent that possible. That's probably the reason. The wokeness might be a response to the centuries of that.
Yeah, it's downstream effect.
I'm just putting that out there.
But like crazy how he gets so close and then
So close.
the opposite conclusion.
So close.
Well, let's look at the facts of what I'm saying, though. If you say in this neighborhood where they gerrymander this amount of time, so hey, I wasn't doing that. I was just gerrymandering the lawyers and the Hollywood executives and the people at the bank that debanked me and then froze my accounts. You know, it's like we want to jump into protecting the idea that we can't put a net around something, right? But that's been my job as a producer. officer to take, you know, a Roy Air sample and put a James Brown drum and put it within a 2 minute, 3 minutes. That's the way I actually think, and that's the way I talk. And now this morning I found out that they were trying to put me in prison because what they did was I moved $140 million into JP Morgan. And I said, I want to talk to JP Diamond. Like, look at me. I'm just one second.
You know what? I remember one time that Tim once said, "You're personable. You're like you have the concerns of the average person." It's just I remember that. Like, yeah, it is. To be fair, it is right. When boom, $140 million into JP Morgan, you can't get Jamie Diamond on the phone. It's like, hey, dude. Let's take a little service around here.
I'm not 100% sure on this because I don't like keep flashcards or whatever, but I don't think Jamie Diamond is even Jewish.
Right.
He's Greek.
Right. Yes.
Memory serves. So Phoenix, that's Phoenix.
Well, okay. Let's, yes, but
he's probably got a Kushner next to him, if you know what I mean.
All right, let's continue. Are we continuing with that clip? Okay. Okay, all right, go ahead.
This is where Kanye walks up.
You're going down.
Down. Removing all of the, richest person, all of this, so I can serve him. And the more and more those things are taken away from me, the more I can be empty and be a vessel and be able to be used. And right now, it's like, you're not going to take, if we can't, you're not going to take my pain away, right? The Jewish people say, it's the Holocaust, this happened, and you can't say anything about it. We can't take their pain away. No one's going to denounce the fact that they tried to lock me up. That's what, because every time I'm just holding stride, it's like, I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK, because as I'm getting hosed down every day by the press, and financially I'm just standing there. And when I found out that they tried to put me in jail, it was like a dog was biting my arm. And I almost shed a tear, almost. But I still walked in stride through it. Yeah.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they, though? We can't say they is, can we?
Press. I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm not talking.
It is them, though, isn't it? I mean, because because when you think about it, pause it.
Nice to see you, little.
First off, I don't know. I'm not aware of who is trying to put him into prison
and debank him.
And debank him. I'm unclear about the prison thing because I don't know who he's talking about. But we should just say that's Nick Fuentes, who is the avowed anti-Semite. I mean, avowed, proclaimed anti-Semite, proclaimed misogynist, proclaimed homophobe. Interesting. And I'm not sure where he is on race. He's probably not going to smart too much on that at this moment. But I just would just say Fuentes is jumping in there. They want to say the Jews are trying to lock him up.
Say it.
In the I guess I don't like in the prison, the Jew club, the anti-Semites.
Well, I mean, like Kanye is not doing all right. I mean, he's conflating his personal financial struggles with like black people generally and Jews. Like,
I mean, this all stems from him having a disagreement with basically a Jewish psychiatrist
who said he wanted to take his meds.
And it's I'm not going to I'm not qualified to comment on that, but I think it's like there's something up with Kanye mentally, and it seems like he's become a vessel for a new Fuentes in Miami now. Plus, you can't argue with the results.
And also, let's be clear, he's also become a vessel for the right. I mean, as much as Antifa is going to, tentatively push back on the conspiracy theory and the sort of the let's call it insanity that is being spewed by Kanye, he's also platforming him.
Yeah.
In the same way that, Tucker Carlson has, and all of them are. This is all you know, even when there's this slight pushback, they are platforming him without any real critique.
Oh, he was hyping it up. Tim Pool was like, could not have been advertising this more.
And let's be clear, Kanye comes in, and he's the headliner, but look at the other people on the marquee. I mean, he's not pushing back on Nick Fuentes. Okay, we're having a civil argument as to whether essentially Jews are vermin who control the world or not. We're just having a civil argument about it. This is not a topic of civil argument. This is not a topic of like, hey, you know what? Should we, increase the payroll tax by X amount of percentage? Is that going to lead towards, or should we raise the minimum wage or lower the minimum wage? Is that going to impact unemployment? Is it right what the Fed is doing? Or, are men different than women? What's their different love language? This is not the same type of argument. This isn't like, I like this emo band versus you like that emo band. Or what kind of skateboard trucks do you have? This is not the same level of argument. And Pool is trafficking in this. His audience he has built wants it, and this is the way that he gets his clout in all of it. He makes his money this way.
Yeah, and the white nationalists that are accompanying Kanye feel like they now have, at least for the moment, one, a wedge, and two, a temporary shield to have a very famous black guy saying this kind of stuff.
And you know what Milo Yiannopoulos has been in the past, since he's like sort of coming out and saying that he didn't really have a problem with, where he was making the same argument that Matt Walsh was, basically, that the age of consent is a silly way to determine whether sex is appropriate or not. You know where he's been? Of course, Matt Walsh will not get excommunicated in the way that Yiannopoulos does, because Yiannopoulos was at the time gay, supposedly was gay, I should say. Who cares? But he's been nowhere until he hitched his, those guys can't believe though.
And can I just say something really quickly? I just feel like I think when Kanye says keep angry and like that they're trying to lock him up, my guess is someone was trying to get him into a conservatorship. That's just my guess. I don't really know. And that's what was getting cut off. I could see that happening. But anyway.
Alright,
my arm, and I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked and tried to it. I think they've been extremely unfair to you. I think it's they though. They use the press. I don't use the word as the biggest. You guys use. I'm not talking to them though, isn't it? I mean, because when you think about it, consider it. 28. What do you mean it's not? What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving? I'll say it right now. You guys want to bring that stuff up? How you doing? I say, have the discussion. He's going to come in here and say, here's my page, my stuff. I'm going to say, I hear you. And then he's going to say, and it was Jewish people. I'm going to be like, okay, but don't you consider? So I'm not going to do this. I'm going to make sure he's cool. All right, go for it. You're looking, I love the conversation. So I can't say I'm surprised. Why not have a conversation? What do I even do? Other than ask him, please elaborate on this. Are you referring to individuals? Or are you literally blaming a group of people for the fact that powerful individuals are causing you harm? I really want to know.
Match point. Blue team.
They all walk out and join him.
Yeah, okay. And what's interesting is you can see how bad it's just, I mean, this is just so, it's disgusting, it's ridiculous, it is sad in some ways to watch a guy who clearly needs to be on medication being exploited in this way, but it is what it is, and
it's not to say like Kanye was a great guy before, when he's not engaging in this. This is just like a very extreme version of it. And Tim there, I saw him getting credit online from some people saying, well, later after all of these guys leave the room, he says, well, we can't group Jewish programs together.
Here's the proof, and to be fair, I guess Tim Pool that he has decided to come out against obvious anti-Semitism.
Match point. Red team.
Yes, it is all the Jews who are calling and making so many sons saying that stuff. Like, it's them.
Right, and let's be clear though, you know, Tim Pool is doing
Victory!
done so much more damage just in platforming Fuentes and making it seem like, oh, you know, I just wanted to have a reasonable conversation about your immense bigotry. Give me a break. Yeah. Give me a break.
Let's go!
He is, let's be clear here, even if he's disagreeing, and even when he says here, credit that he's not himself personally espousing anti-Semitic views. Let's be clear. He is undergirding and promoting anti-Semitism and bigotry by saying it's a topic that can be sort of like nuanced and discussed in a rational podcast interview. He wasn't coming in. He was so upset when Kanye left because he, in his own words, was being perfectly deferential to Kanye and was just examining his anti-Semitism and his bigotry. No. If you're going to have Kanye on there, you better
prepare yourself.
Be offensive enough to his views that he gets up and leaves.
But the reason that he knew he couldn't do that, and that's why you don't platform this shit, is because Kanye, that was the first time he's heard anything close to no, and you.
Yo.
Everybody don't stand. I was paralyzed from being immobile. What?
Okay, what I don't understand is the part that I watched earlier was like under no circumstances any mentions of Marty where we're not going to talk about them. It's not going to be on the table. Persona non grata. But then I tuned in on my phone and just screaming Marty this, I'm coming after your family and all this. Okay, I mean, I don't know if he's like going for healthcare, but my dad's not like a fucking dermatologist guy. Oh yeah, it's just like that. So, okay, he's gonna be paralyzed. Just stop scratching, it's just that simple. It's really that simple. Annalie's right. That's where this part.
Oh, not today.
Make sure to bring in person. You just gotta see a dermatologist. Stop scratching. Maybe your grandma can put some liquids on your hands. You know what he needs? What he needs is like one of those combs they put on dogs. So they stop scratching their heads. Like, I don't know, Sally can craft one of those things for him. But he needs it. Just take one look at him here, whimpering and pain. And what's that? He needs a dog comb. That he can't take off. So problem solved.
Match point. Blue team. Wow, that was a surprise. Match point. Red team. Heating up.
This sounds like a tremendous pussy right now. Where's the chat? Why can't I hold it?
Here it comes.
I know I can't do both. You know, Nick, Marvin. I hope that Marvin. Because of the stress of this eczema that you caused me, that shit ain't terrible. So I hope you're happy, Marvin. You caused me to get something terrible by stressing me the fuck out. That goes bad, Jesus. Hang on. All it is manageable. Let me try something.
Prepare yourself!
Don't you get eczema from like not taking showers? Is that even true?
Hey, you're here too.
Isn't the cure like taking a shower and stopping the smashing? Excellent. Yeah, terrible.
Let's go.
Why would eczema stop him from going after anybody?
Hey, I didn't hear about it. Got me.
Taking it to the sky.
You have no idea how much pain I'm in every day because of you, bitch. Every day because of you. I'm receiving unmanageable.
Yeah! Time to cut loose.
Match point. Blue team. Oh, you got me. Won't happen again.
System trick!
That's not going to be good for the eczema.
Think fast. Victory!
No, you should have them come up.
Play
And
again?
look at the bed.
Okay!
Now's like the perfect time.
Choose your character.
Dude, it's as high as it goes.
Like, dude, I'm ready to go, and I'm not like kidding, man.
I bet you it's the railroad police. That's a good call. Who was that? Yeah. That's what you got.
Prepare yourselves! Remember, non-lethal. All you.
Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lost Planning, the interwebs. I am your host, Nick Ricada of Ricada Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. With me today is the avatar of Adam Crickler. Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, dude? How you doing? I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Got some big stuff happening today. Might talk a little bit about it, but not a ton. Cool. Yeah, some big stuff happening today for me, which makes me and happy. Can you talk about it? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I can talk about it. I try desperately to avoid things that I cannot talk about. It's like, why bother? Right. If I can't talk about it, it's not any fun. But no, well, we can talk about it. I know some people have asked what's going on because I had a cryptic tweet.
I can't tell you how good it feels to talk about shit that, I mean, I could have talked about all this stuff, and I was doing myself a disservice. Honestly, I felt freer than ever before in my life this week. It just feels so good to just have people know what happened. Yeah, it feels great.
Catharsis, man.
Dude,
catharsis
100%.
is there.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Should I bring up the locals chat? Is that what I was reacting to?
Yeah, but I'm gonna put it on screen.
I don't know what.
They're already on the meme games today. There we go.
I'll give you that.
Things happen behind closed doors.
Victory!
Oh, that's
okay, so...
Oh, no. That's the start of the show. Oh, my goodness.
So, to let everybody
I gotta pull up your locals.
you enter at your own peril, my friend. Okay, so to let everybody know, yes, there was what we would call some internet drama, I guess, this week that has happened involving Mr. Krigler here.
Yeah.
Mr. Krigler sounds like a Christmas villain.
Choose your character.
I'll take it. I think it's actually Mr. Cringler is the
Mr. Cringler.
That's the Christmas villain, I think.
Mommy, what's going to happen if Mr. Cringler shows up instead of Santa? Well, you don't get any toys, and what you do get is a boatload of drama. But we're not going to focus...
Those cookies aren't saving you this year.
We're not going to focus on the drama. You've told the story. I don't
Prepare
yourself. Again, although, if you're okay with it, I may ask you about a part of the story that's not really fully related to Tim that I'm kind of just curious about.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to ridicule you over, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. Someone actually said it, like right as it happened. And I was like, I know he's gonna you're gonna get fucking torched. I deserve it. There was one extra tear. There was one extra tear from fear of you, yelling at me, crying. Yeah.
No. Of course not. But no, I'm like, that's the human fucking condition right there. That's the shit that, for whatever anybody thinks about me, the one thing I love is story and learning about people's life, because I learned so long ago that everybody's interested, literally everybody. Now, some people can't tell their story in an interesting way, and that's the hard part, because lots in there, there's really there's real drama, not internet drama, there's real drama behind lives, it doesn't matter if you're a janitor or the fucking president, you've been through shit that I haven't, so I love to hear stories, and I like to get into that humanity aspect of it, because one thing the internet has taught me over the past 5 years is how easy and common it is that we speak and address everything in general terms, generalities. Everybody is this, all people like this or that. It's really easy to talk, and it's largely applicable for things that don't matter as much. But when you start getting into people, those generalities, sure, they're kind of useful for easy categorizations, but when you get into it, man, the stories behind people are way more interesting than those general talking points. And so I kind of like to get into the meat of stuff and figure it out. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm a weirdo.
No, I like to as well. I don't like dwelling on the surface level. I think that's a problem with a lot of people these days. They're too comfortable not dealing with the root of the problem or the root of the issue that they have with someone. Right? They'd rather stay on the surface, and that's partly the what was wrong with that household that I was living in. Because I'm the type that, hey, I've got an issue, let's get to the root of it, let's talk about it, and I even admitted that, some of the shit that I was harboring was guilt that I was carrying myself, and I was I was starting to face it, and without realizing how much it was, affecting me, it was affecting my work relationship, and I acknowledged that, that day, so it wasn't like I was trying to just push the 100% of the blame. I apologized to it. I'm like, look, I admit, I have my own demons that I'm dealing with, and it didn't make a difference.
Right.
But it was good for me, because it started this ball rolling of a journey to understand what I went through and how much it actually affected me. So.
Yeah. Well, because that's the weird thing about trauma is, and this is why, things like therapy can help, even when people don't think they need therapy. It's not about needing therapy. It's about having someone that you can just trust to explore things with. And sometimes, you can have really close friends and confidants if you build those relationships, but other times you don't. And what's really useful about that is, what the fuck? Why do I hear myself?
It's not me. It's kind of like a crutch, it's like them leading you through yourself, and actually my wife is amazing at asking me why. That's
my wife's amazing at asking me why too, but not for the same reasons. I saw that stream you did. Why?
I heard about that stream. I heard about that stream.
Yeah, all the time.
I hope not. What are you drinking there? What are you drinking over there?
Oh, I found a bottle near me. Angel's Envy finished rye.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, finished Caribbean rum cask. This, to me, I think this is the best $100 bottle of whiskey that I've ever found.
Someone actually sent that to me back when I was on Timcast. It was awesome. And yeah, I had it for a little while. I don't really tend to like bourbon, but that's a good bourbon. It's a really good bourbon.
This is a rye.
Oh,
Envy does do
right.
bourbon.
I had the bourbon.
Yeah. Way better. I mean, like it's way.
It's better than their bourbon, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
And seriously, like for $100 bottles of whiskey across the board, it's one of the best.
That's nice.
It's one of my favorites.
Nice.
But anyway, okay, we can do a very brief overview of who you are, because some people may not know. You are a guy named Adam Krigler.
True.
And you are, here, I'll do this as a cross section, right? And isn't it true that you used to co-host Timcast?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm just the attorney, but you if you want.
Yes. Yes, Pope.
And on Timcast, you took up the position that is now occupied, most loosely associated with a man named Ian. Well, man.
I suppose so, yes.
In that you were not supposed to be a sycophantic voice, but rather offer challenge, offer contrasting opinions, agreement where, acceptable, of course.
No, actually, I don't think that's ever what Tim's plan was. I think as soon as I started strongly saying to my own opinion, it was there was a shift in the air in that household.
Oh, like Phil Collins.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You were calling in the air tonight. No, but long story short, Adam Krigler, you have your own show. Oh shit, I should put your link in the description here.
Yeah,
definitely. Thank you, like a smart person.
Well, I'll go back a little further while you're doing that.
You do that.
I was a professional model for about 15 years. I traveled around the world doing different campaigns for a lot of the main clothing companies. Abercrombie & Fitch, American Eagle, Converse, Shoes, Vogue. Chanel was my biggest and final job that I did, and I pretty much retired from modeling. How many times did you have to have something put in your butt to be a model? Not once.
Blue team.
Yeah, that's for the models that are like Instagram models that they really want to be models, where they're like, they could maybe, with the makeup and the right angles, and something inserted in their ass probably gets them in, but not a lot of. I feel like there's a good portion of people that don't have to do that, and I was lucky enough to be, I guess, attractive enough to not need that to go through that avenue.
I mean, listen to this guy.
Choose your character.
It's just so damn pretty.
Yeah, you definitely need something up your ass if you want to do that route.
According to the internet, I'm already there, so it's fine. Yeah. Guys, I wanted to announce today the big things happening are my new male modeling career. And Jerry from Rockstar Productions, he said, I'll totally be a star, but then I felt very uncomfortable as he teleported behind me.
Wow.
Smartest man in the universe?
Hold on, wait. Hydro, did you get muted on my channel? I didn't know that. What the fuck? Hydro, you shouldn't be muted on my channel. Where did you get muted?
Dude, who knows? Sometimes people get muted for weird reasons. Like
I think I made a new mod recently, and I think he's gone a little fucking too heavy with it. I need to have a chat with him because that's not cool.
I hate YouTube mods. Like, I don't hate the mods. I just hate, like, the nature of the moderation because, like, they're trying to help out.
Yeah.
And so they'll get zealous, like, oh, shit, we gotta stop, like, this thing. It's like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care if people are talking shit.
Prepare yourself!
Pardon me, that's definitely gonna happen, but, especially after Friday, because...
Right.
I've faced a lot of I call them beanie babies now. works
Oh,
on.
right, yeah, I got it.
Did you get it? Good. I'm glad you
It took me a second.
really
I was
catch
like,
that.
I saw you tweet that the other day.
I want to be Wonder, Miss Woman.
I've muted so many people on Twitter. Well, dude, like, I just don't care. I've muted a couple people on Twitter. I don't like to, but at some point, I have to recognize who I am. And if I don't mute someone, like, I'll eventually I'll get myself banned again. Right. It won't be my effort. I'll do it really well. Okay, but recap. You're Adam Crippler. Former male model. Former skateboarder.
I was a professional skateboarder. I rode professionally for Arbor Skateboards. Designed a board for them. I ran my own skate school teaching skateboarding for about 5 years in New York, which was a lot of fun.
Blue team.
That was great.
And then Occupy Wall Street happens. Victory! And somehow you get roped into doing a show with him. Like, I don't know how that occurs. And
I tell that in my story on Friday if you want to go find out.
Yeah, if anybody wants the full details of this thing with Timcast, go watch Adam's video. Law Nerd Clips has also clipped down like 26 minutes of it, but
he missed some important context though.
Choose
I watched
your
that video
character.
just to see how it sounded, and it still missed a lot of important details.
I mean, you think they're important.
True. Well, the first 2 hours is essentially the important goods, the entire story.
Someone posted one of your pictures in the chat. What is the caption? Photographer says, "Give me fuck eyes, Adam." Nailed it.
Prepare yourself.
But yeah, so you get wrapped up in Timcast. Famously, what was it, 2 years ago now? You leave Timcast? Something like that?
Well, I was fired from the Timcast show. I still worked for Tim for a year total. I was kind of the house handyman. I would do,
Gotta fight hard,
hang the
gotta fight
TV.
good.
I was the
Gonna
guy
fight you
that
like
knew
you
how to
guys
run the
should.
drill and the tools in the house. If something broke, they would come to me like, "Hey, this broke. Can you fix it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I fixed it. I mean, he was paying other people in that house. I'm not gonna like call them out for doing significantly less. So, and anyway, it was a great situation. Like Tim just kept paying me to be there. So yeah, of course. And then we also had these plans that we would discuss every so often about a new show that I would be doing with him, me and Tim. So it's like, well, the Timcast show, it's not what I wanted it to be. You know, he wanted it to be more like, Joe Rogan guests every day, so he didn't have to actually like prepare. And now, he's talking about he doesn't really interview guests. He just kind of brings them on to tell them how smart he is.
Well, I worded that a little more diplomatically, but sure. So, I was talking in my locals chat, and by the way, I should mention that this stream and every stream is brought to you by arcadealong.locals.com, where I have a live chat going 24/7. I'm in for probably too many unhealthy hours out of the day, and every show that I do, every appearance that I do, the locals chat is connected to that, and I'm interacting with the locals chat during those appearances and stuff too. If you're interested in joining what I consider to be my favorite part of the internet right now, go to arcadealong.locals.com. You can sign up for free to get all the notifications for the show, but if you want to participate in the chat, you have to join at the member level, and you can check that out over there. But it is great, and oh god, there it is. It was a matter of time before they turned you into me.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
So, I was in my locals chat. I was stuck at the Mall of America yesterday.
Oh god.
Okay, so I had to go to the Twin Cities, which is about 2 hours from my house, to pick up a friend from the airport. And so I'm driving in to go do this. And while I'm driving in, I noticed when I left my house, there was a dusting of snow. Like maybe a half inch of snow. Not a big deal.
And I'm like driving, everything's clear skies. But as I get closer to the Twin Cities, it starts to get really just shittier and shittier. And the snow is still coming down. It's very heavy, slushy snow. And they ended up getting, I don't know, a couple inches, which, depending on how fast that piles up, can be really annoying for roads.
Victory!
It also is annoying enough that they shut down the airport. So get to the airport, and I get a message as I'm in the parking ramp from my friend says, hey, my flight was diverted to Chicago.
Play again?
And so I'm in Chicago, and I don't know.
Okay!
No, thank God. They're going to bring us, I think, to Minneapolis. We just don't know when yet. And so I'm like, okay. So I check into it, find out it's going to be a couple hours, but they are planning on being there. Like, it was going to be, I think, 2 hours or something. I'm like, well, I'm right by the Mall of America. I guess I can go kill 2 hours. So I'm walking through the Mall of America, and of course I'm just on my phone because there's nothing. I mean, like it's just a big mall. Once you're there, it's not super impressive. And we were talking about the Kanye Tim Pool interview, and the thing, like, which I don't want to get into too much of. I haven't watched it. It doesn't really matter. I put it out to Kanye on Twitter. He's welcome on my show.
I want to see that interview. Like, people were like, you know, Adam, you should interview him because you'll actually let him talk. And I'm like, I would love to interview Kanye, of course. But I said in some account from Kanye, some people were tagging me and like, who should Kanye go on next? And they were tagging me. So I wrote, I would love to, like, Kanye's always welcome on the show. And like half the comments were, how dare you, Adam? Like, you're so fucking salty. Like, I'm like, I didn't even say Tim. Goddamn. Like, Jesus.
You can't possibly interview someone.
Right, like someone else shut the fuck up. My God. So it was ridiculous, but I would love to see him on your show because you have one of my favorite
Prepare
shows.
yourself.
We're on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey tonight, and I'll talk about that very soon, guys. I'll talk about that very soon. But yeah, no, I would love to interview Kanye, but. So my chat mentioned, though, that, like, they started off with news stories, and I was kind of baffled by this, because to me, if I have Kanye on, I don't want to talk about the news. Like, I want to talk about vision, I want to talk about him knowing culture, I want to talk about him going from rich to insanely rich to back to just rich. Like, I want to know about these things. Like, that's really fucking interesting to me. And like what his plan is, because he's like a dude that everybody has doubted the whole time. And he keeps just blowing people away. And so it's like, I want to talk about the guy who can figure out to consistently say fuck you to the entire planet and man. Like, that's what I want to know. And I want to know how Shirtless will keep him down. but no, I'm like, why? You're bringing Kanye on to talk about a fucking news story, like, ever? Talk about vision, man. Like, and maybe that was the plan.
Lack of.
Right. Who knows?
Do you think it was the plan? Because a lot of people are sending me messages like, do you think he did this to, like, take the heat off of people finding out that he slept with all of his female employees and that, you know, he's an abusive boss and all this shit? It's like,
look, I don't know. It worked. The plan.
But that's exactly what happened.
It's very good. If that was the plan, bravo.
Right. Yeah, good genius. He's smart. I mean, I'll be the first to admit Tim's a smart guy. I don't think he's very nice.
And maybe that is what was going on. I don't know. I don't want to ascribe motive to anybody, though. And it's certainly possible that, like, they were going to cover this news thing that they had talked about. I heard they talked about it in advance and stuff. And maybe then they were going to get into something else. I don't know what Tim was going to do in that interview, and unfortunately, we never will. Which is too bad. I know that for me, like, what I would want to do in the interview is hear what Kanye's vision is for himself, for culture, what he sees us doing, how he, like, I want to talk to him about Twitter, Elon Musk, his, like, roller coaster ride through social media censorship. Like, that's the stuff that I want to know, because, again, this is a guy who's put expectations over and over.
Red team.
And I want to see that. I want to see the guy, or I want to hear from the guy who said, fuck all these people, I'm going to be a billionaire in 5 years, and then was.
Yeah. Because I want to do that. So I'm like, I want to go, fuck all y'all, I'm going to be a billionaire, and then actually have that occur in some way. And I don't know, like, how many Kardashians I have to bang to make that happen, but, like, sacrifices might be able to be made. I don't know. If it's for $1 billion, we'll see. But it's like, how do we get there? And the other reason that I think is so interesting is because someone who can do that for themselves, I want to know what their vision is for culture, because I want to see if it was all just fucking luck, or if there's a roadmap in there that I can agree with. To me, that's the spice of Kanye West. It's like, well, you did this for you. What? As a cultural icon and
Here we go.
Victory!
Icon, how do you see this going for us, for the West, for America, for the East? I don't know. Pick your fucking poison. That's what I want to know from him.
It's like, you know, he's trying to be president. You know, if he has these visions, wouldn't your first thing getting him on your show is to start asking about that? You know, not immediately go into what Kanye said did want to do. Like, he admitted multiple times he didn't want it to go into that sort of like back and forth battle, like the Lex Friedman interview.
I wouldn't start there myself, because I try to always start first interviews with people who they are from them. Like,
I mean, just before you bring in a news article that calls him an anti-Semite, you know what I mean?
I don't want to. That's more
what I'm saying.
I just be like, so you hate Jews, like that? Like, I don't need the news article to ask the question. But I don't know, and I would probably pregame with him a little bit and say, hey, so I want to get to this a little bit, as much as you're interested in it, but I'm not interested in this story, frankly, because like, I know how people get misrepresented and mislabeled by the media all the time. It's happened to me, and I'm just a little guy, right, out here in Minnesota, in middle of nowhere. And so, like, whatever happens to Kanye, like, so he made some tweets and Instagram posts that are very, very offensive, highly dangerous, dubious. Okay, I don't fucking care, like, about that. I care to know the person behind that more than the narrative about it. But we probably have to address it at some point. But I make that clear prior to the interview, like, look, if we go here, and I'm comfortable if you're comfortable going here, but this isn't the part of the story that I want to know about. I don't care. It's just out in the ether right now, so we might have to address it. But what I'm more concerned about is this stuff, and this is where I'd like to focus. But that's how I would do it. I don't know what Tim did prior to it, so I'm not going to, like, be overly critical. And I'm not even... But I'm not even calling out, like, Tim's interview so much as I know how I would do the interview, and I think it'd be a good one. That's
I don't even think it was an interview, to be honest. Like, it looked like it was more just the usual thing. Yeah. You know, they come into the show, and Tim starts talking news. You know, it's like he should have actually gone to do an interview with Kanye instead of just sitting him down and going, here's this news. Let's hear your take on it.
A normal show.
Yeah, and he's claiming now that, you know, Kanye approved of what they were going to talk about, and, you know, he was okay with it. But if that was true, then when Kanye actually voiced 2 times before he walked out that he wasn't okay with what was going on, that's kind of contradictory. And even if they did agree to it, and then he was sitting there going, you know what, I'm not cool with this, calmly stated, you know, I don't really want to go here with this kind of conversation, said it again a little bit later, and then when it continued, he got up and left. It's like, all right, well, I don't blame him for leaving. I mean, I can't even stand the sound of Tim's voice because I know, like, the type of person he is and the narcissism that runs in the manipulation tactics that he uses. Like, I just can't handle that anymore. I don't need that energy in my life.
Right.
And I'm...
Well, you don't have to have it anymore. That's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like such a big weight off my shoulders. And I've seen so many people that are like,
you got to stop talking shit about Tim. And I was like, I'm not talking shit. I'm telling you the fucking truth. Like, you're talking shit versus, like, me talking about actual experience with someone that's, has a platform that everyone knows. It's like, I know Tim more than all of these people that are coming at me. It's like, I lived with him multiple times, and I know who he is as a person. So, like, I don't give a shit. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't listen to me then. That's fine. But I'm still going to give you my 2 cents about something that I know a lot more about it than you do. You know, I'm giving you my perspective on Tim, and I have my own perspective on it. And it turns out a lot of other people are coming forward and saying, damn, like, after seeing Adam, like, speak what he was saying about Tim, I'm coming forward. Like, his own sister started making videos about like who Tim is now. And this conversation, like, you can't quit Tim. It's like, yeah, it just fucking happened, and everyone's asking me questions about it. I didn't even know that we were gonna, like, I didn't know what we were gonna talk about, because when you invited me on the show, you were like, we don't have to talk about Tim if you don't want to. And I was like, yeah, you know, it's whatever. I don't really care. I love coming on the show because you always make me laugh. And then I see the posts on Twitter, and I'm like, damn it, you know, it's like, Adam comes to explain the fallout between him and Tim. I'm like,
No.
Damn
Not
it.
the fallout between you and Tim.
Well,
And
what else
also-
could it be, Nick?
No, it's the fallout from because what I'm more interested in is kind of just the past couple days, because the title is on drama, course correction, and culture. Yeah. So that's the 3-story arc of the show is address the drama, talk about course correction, because to me that's a course correction for you, because this Tim thing has been looming for a while, like since I left. Since you left. Every appearance on my show, there's like there's some bit of it, because people are interested. He's an enigma. Like, he's this guy who has 1 million subscribers and just a shitload of fucking support on the Timcast website. He's very, very successful. He's influential in the modern cultural political zeitgeist on Twitter. Like, people listen to him. So, of course it's going to come up. But you, what I saw happening is you going, all right, I'm going to process this. It's going to be done. Obviously, we're in the wake of it. So there's going to be some discussion. But I want to move past it pretty quick, in all honesty.
Yeah, me too.
And I wanted to bring you on to tell jokes and talk about stories and have a banger of an article about how Clarence Thomas is making the Supreme Court into not a suicide pact, but a homicide pact, which I definitely want to go into. I want to talk about Balenciaga. I want to talk about me, because I'm vain. And so, like, these are the things that I want to do. But I can't bring you on and not, like, have a few minutes on.
No, I see, that's the thing, though. I don't mind talking about it. Right. Because now that it's out in the open, I can talk about it. You know, before I was kind of keeping myself in check, not trying to, honestly trying to protect him for no reason, and trying to protect some other people in the house. Like, I don't owe Lydia anything. I have zero respect for her, and I have no respect for Tim after he reached out to my wife instead of me this weekend. Like, that was the finish line for me. Like, all right, that's it. You're gonna try to manipulate my wife by sending her some sort of, like, cry me a fucking river. Like, I hurt you, Tim, and, like, I fucked your girlfriend over. Like, I didn't say shit against your girlfriend. Like, his girlfriend's awesome. I don't even think he deserves her. You know, and to, like, reach out to my wife and say some shit instead of reaching out to me like a fucking man. Like, dude, fuck off. So, like, all these people defending Tim, like, get the fuck out of my way. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna talk my shit about Tim because I know a lot more. I was being fucking nice on Friday. I was being nice. I was still protecting Tim. There's way more shit that I didn't say, all right, that I'm still, but, it's not necessarily my story. That's what I told my story, my perspective. So all these people that are bitching, it's like, man, fuck off. That's my life, you know. I'm allowed to talk about my life. So
yeah, of course. Well,
it pisses me off.
You don't have to. You're not allowed or disallowed to talk about anything, right? Like, no one gets to control what you talk about. That's just reality. But I do have a question. I need to figure out while you were a model.
Okay.
I heard you did a photo spread for Hugo Boss, and I need you to explain
Hugo Boss.
Yeah, I need you to explain your very anti-Semitic roots.
I don't know if I did a job for Hugo Boss.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You care to explain this, Adam? You care to explain this? Why you're fighting Kanye?
That certainly has never been photoshopped. I'm definitely not 100%. I mean, you should explain this is why you're here at the show. Nine. Wait, what are we talking about? Everything. I saw a buddy of mine sent me this. He saw it and he just started laughing. Oh, let me find it.
Yeah. 9. Oh my Scheiße. I'm gonna read some super chats too.
Okay.
Let me get them pulled up.
Sure.
While we're here, guys, I'll briefly preview. I'll probably talk about this a little more on Locals because it's more the place that I talk about this type of stuff. But I have largely finalized an exclusivity deal with Rumble today. I'm flying down to Miami. Now, exclusivity means something that is not actually exclusive. It's kind of complicated. There's going to be a whole bunch more information coming out about this. But so just chill for a minute on all that and the reaction to it, because YouTube is still going to be involved. Odyssey is still going to be involved. Twitch is still going to be involved. It's more about a collaboration and a partnership with Rumble than like exclusivity in the traditional sense, like people would think about Mixer and stuff. I'm not leaving any platforms, and there'll be a lot of streaming to multiple platforms going on in the future. But I just wanted people to know that that is happening. I'm flying down to Rumble HQ on Monday. We'll be signing the contract, officially signing it. I'm going to record it. We'll maybe talk to some people at Rumble about what's going on and what they're doing. I think this will be great, and that'll be uploaded, on all my platforms. But I'll have more details about it on Locals. I'm not, I talk about things about as much as possible. I try to be very open and honest with everybody about what goes on as part of the show, because you guys built the damn show. You guys built the show as much as I did by being here, by being the audience for it. And so I share as much as I can about that as transparently as possible. So, but yes, cheers to some good future times with Rumble. And my goal, honestly, is to change people's perception of Rumble from an alt-tech platform into a tech platform. Like, I don't like the alternative moniker being added to places like Rumble and Odyssey. It's also not a slight on Odyssey. I love those guys. I love the platform. I think it's great. But this is where I'm moving for now. And, more to come on that. But that was my cryptic tweet earlier that big things are happening. And also, just a little poke. Never listen to the experts. The experts often are dealing with not enough information. True. And that's fine.
Prepare yourself.
That's awesome.
Thanks, brother. It's exciting for me. I mean, I hope it's exciting for everybody else. We'll figure that out soon. Okay. The new cooler Will Smith says, I haven't tuned into Nick's stream in too long. But if Krigler is here, then I have to. He crushed it with Anomaly earlier and torpedoed Tim so bad he needed to invite the Yay 24 Triumvirate to recover, and he blew it. Tim L. Okay, ignoring the Tim stuff.
Sure.
Kanye. Milo?
I don't know Milo, and I just know of Fuentes. So, now I know a little bit about Milo because of this week. That, I guess he used to be gay, now he's trying to be a conservative.
Look, he got that. It's shocker.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. He did, because he's, I think he is converted Catholic, and he, as part of that, has determined that his homosexuality is incompatible with his faith, and has decided that he will live his life as a straight man, like an inverted Kevin Spacey.
So it's going back to like the 1800s.
I mean, maybe. I mean, what? But I'm not here to judge people's personal beliefs.
Yeah, sure.
I think the modern Catholic Pope would be like, no, stay gay. Why does he sound Jewish? I don't know. Milo, let me tell you. You go ahead, you stay gay. It's fine in the new Pope, the new papacy. It's okay.
Gays in the corner, like, what's going on here?
Let me bring you to Rome. I'll show you.
The Pope's against me too now. God, you're testing me.
But I don't know. That's his thing. But I've never talked to Milo. I liked him. I think he's wildly interesting. I think he had a really huge high. He had a pretty deep low when he got banned. And I mean, he did some behaviors that I do not like when people get banned. Like, he got real beggy for a little bit. But, you know, like, I get it. You're at your lowest. You're like, my lifestyle has been completely demolished by bullshit and being canceled.
Victory!
All cancellations are pretty much a bullshit, but, you know, him being canceled was bullshit. His life was turned into crazy, and he's trying to adapt. And when you talk as much as we do, like, you have to process some stuff in public, because you just don't have time to do it in private.
Well, and a lot of what you and I do is a stream of consciousness.
Right.
So sometimes I'll reach a point that I didn't even realize that was in there, or you know, I'll recognize something like, oh shit, like that's actually the case, you know, and that'll be live because, you know, talking live, I'm working out my thoughts, I'm talking about things that are going on in there. So like I'll reach a point, like even on Friday, you know, I had prepped to talk about this whole thing with Tim for a long time, and you know, part of the thing that I came to was like, it was a confusing relationship because half of me wanted to be his friend, and maybe part of that's still that's not as true anymore, but at the time I meant it, you know, like half of me wants to be his friend, the other half is like, you've proven to me you don't give a shit about being my friend, that it's all, you're selfish, right. You just want to use me you only want to be my friend when it's good for you, when it benefits you, and like I don't need that shit in my life. So, you know, I didn't realize that until I reached that conclusion right then.
Right. So we process things. We talk about what's on our minds. Like if you're me and you start drinking and doing a 3 to 7 hour show, like at some point, what's pervading your thoughts is going to come forward, no matter how much you try to talk about anything else. It's just going to happen. And the looser the lips get, I have a vagina joke in there, but I'm not gonna say it. The looser the lips get, you know, the topics that stuff will come out. And I mean, I'm okay with it. That's why I try to be transparent about damn near everything that I can. Because eventually it's gonna out. Because I'm gonna if something's gonna be on my mind, I'm gonna eventually say it. That's just how life works for me. So I'm like, well, I might as well just say it then. Just own who I am and what I'm going through, and that's the thing.
That's why you're so successful, because of that authenticity, and your authentic self is a hilarious asshole lawyer.
Emphasis on the asshole. So anyway, let's get back to that question. Kanye, Milo, Fuentes, or
I don't know what that's all about. I think him and Milo were working together, you know, I guess because Milo's, you know, turned religious, and obviously Kanye is very, he talks about it often about how he's on this mission from God, and he's willing to lose his money to have this message be brought forward, and so it doesn't surprise me that him and Milo kind of got together on that. I don't know if Nick Fuentes is religious or anything.
Okay, so more on this. I don't know specifically. Like, I don't know, but I watched the Kino Casino interview of Jaden, who used to be like the right-hand man of Fuentes in America First. And Jaden, so Fuentes claims Catholic very traditional Catholic beliefs, which he may have. I'm not criticizing that. That's what he claims. Jaden indicated that he doubted the authenticity of those. He suggested that Nick Fuentes was not a staunch practitioner of the Catholic faith. Look, I am not here to judge anybody's practice. When people ask me, I tell them, yeah, I'm a Rivy, bring up the fucking Death Noodle story, the one that just kind of broke recently. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. Alright, so his girlfriend or whatever, and I don't know if this is a troll, I have no idea what's up, but Mike, thank you for the raid, appreciate your face. Go to the Twitters. Repsion tweeted it out earlier, Kristen Hart tweeted it out earlier. It's all over the Twitters right now. That chick he was dating, or some chick, she's fucking making all kinds of accusations against that. There it is, right there. Man, play that shit. This is crazy.
He looks like a fucking, street hooker.
This is fucking crazy. This is
Am I wrong? Look at her.
Listen to this. I have no idea who this is. This is fucking crazy. Listen to this shit. I saw this earlier. This is nuts. I don't know if it's real or not. I have no idea, but listen.
So I just fight hard. You gotta fight good. Gonna fight you like a good guy should.
That, in my personal opinion,
Pause this shit. Dude, this is so fucking, you know where she lives when you're looking at her face. Look at all the fucking dirt on her face. She's fucking brutal. Why do he do that to himself?
I don't know who this is. I really don't know too much of the context, but this shit is fucking funny. That's all okay.
I think this cat is narcissist.
Sounds like Dennis, I don't know.
Sam Merlin saying,
I'm
not sure.
I'm taking not exactly what I like.
So this is fucking nuts. Chris, who is this?
This is so what I'm dealing with right now is I'm trying to collect it. Yeah, shut up, Bears.
You don't need to punish me over the bear.
Oh, I'm gonna punish you. Hey, don't worry. Next year, Willie, we're gonna have a public monster Q picture. I can wait one more season. And Justin Fields is the real. Fuck off. Justin Fields is the real fucking deal. Oh my God.
Match point. Blue team.
We're all fucking pick. We got 9 picks. We traded our pick. No. We got back this year. We're all fucking good. Yeah, we traded the second round. That's fine. We're about to do it. It's gonna be fucking.
Okay, I want to be cool. Go sports.
Yeah. What you know.
So what I've been made aware of is one of them higher up Death Noodle mods talked to me all the time and sent me shit. This was posted on the Asian subreddit. What they in the Death Noodle's Discord, they have the Asian subreddit are stating is that this is his now ex-girlfriend. That's what they're stating.
Continue.
It's about 60%. I'm not 100%. That's what the crazies are saying, but we're looking into it.
Dude, if she did this before her career died, people would care.
It's true, but it's still funny. Have you
We haven't even watched it yet. No, that's the beauty. So we haven't. This shit is so
Choose your character.
This shit is so goddamn funny. You gotta see this, Willie.
Does this get funny? It just seems sad.
Trust me, no. Play it. Trust.
Just play it.
T-shirts that he asked for, and he asked me for $50 for it.
We need to go on a quick adventure.
Everything that he says that's stupid, he just plays off as a joke. But I realized that the joke is him. He's the joke. And then I'm also the joke. Because I fell for it. But whatever.
Doesn't seem kind of fake?
A lot of this seems fake.
Just wait.
Keep playing.
Keep playing.
Known better when he was suing a 22-year-old girl for defamation just for sharing her opinion of him that everyone else has, because it's kind of a very common opinion, sir. Okay. Also, why am I crying over a man?
No, go finish!
Refuses to use soap on his asshole? Why am I
Prepare yourself!
Go back a little farther. Jesus Christ. Play it.
Also, why am I crying over a man that refuses to use soap on his asshole? Why am I crying over a man that I had to beg to properly wash his asshole?
Oh my God, he has a dirty asshole? He's never soaked his asshole?
That was anus and sympathetic, son.
So I was sent this earlier, and I was like, I don't know, like if this is real or fake. So I tweeted it out. I was like, fuck it, I don't care if this is real or not. This is fucking hilarious. Like,
The relationship ended, and it was like traumatic for both of them. He's like, I'll never wash my asshole again.
You're just mad because I made you click it. So yeah, this one, I want to grab this one. Thank you, Chris, for jumping in and giving us a little context on that.
Oh, that is fucking hilarious.
Keep us updated, man. If you find anything else about this, if we can get her, I would love to interview her.
Yes, no, on TikTok, I'll link it to you, Dave. The Salvo News team are writing comments.
I saw it, but my God.
Hold on, Riv, I have something to send you before I go. My favorite boss in the world, oh wait, no, hold on, that's not the secret. My favorite ex-boss in the world posted a tweet. Oh boy.
I'm afraid to everything got it.
Wash your ass! Did he just post that now?
Yeah, that's right now. That's right now.
You saw that? Wash your ass!
That's really fucking good.
He kind of linked it where he saw it. Son of a bitch. Hey man, that's hilarious. I love it. I say I hate him. I love him. Go watch him. He's great.
I think it's funnier you just posting the fucking boy to wash your ass.
He knows I know, and that's all that matters. I know.
He can't link it directly. He can't be like, hey Dennis, like I know what he did.
No, he can, and it'd be hilarious. We should all just assault Dennis with extended
Victory!
potentially. I mean, let's even schedule a full-on colonic explosive volcano. Let's do the whole shebang up on it.
Again? No, we're talking like this girl gave us the info. They're just gonna think we somehow know Deaf Noodles doesn't wash his butt.
Well, no, I'm stating that again. This could be real or fake. It's just funny that somebody came out with this TikTok stating that.
I think whether it's real or not, it'd be hysterical if like we can get him a sponsorship to a douche company or something. Just like, dude,
he's like 37 and he hasn't washed his asshole. Hook him up, man. Give him something. Give him the bidet, dude.
Yeah, we should play a game of what they'll find up fucking Dennis's asshole when they wash it. Like, fucking, they'll find all kinds of things up there. His head will be the first thing they pull out of it. His head.
There's like old Brazilian food in there from eating or some shit.
Dude, he probably has calluses on his ass. All the crust and shit.
His fucking asshole looks like a goddamn cowboy's hands. Yeah. I love that his anus looks like a squeezed fist in this fucking scenario, Willie.
I love how excited Chris was.
Who's that girl talking about death? So right now, King, we're not 100. So Chris just left. Supposedly, according to the H3 and Death Noodle subreddits, or somebody else's subreddits, I said a minute ago, it is his now ex-girlfriend. But the video
makes it seem like it in the video.
Yeah, the video looks fake. It's ish. I don't know.
Prepare
She does have
yourself.
tears on her face, so she can just be crazy and emotional. Really was dating Death Well, then she is crazy and emotional. Because who would date him? Like, why?
Fucking poor guy.
That is, this whole story, I really hope it's true. I hope it's true, and he's got the crustiest, dirtiest...
See a pest to eliminate.
Like, I mean, it's just...
Like, even when she says the fucking, like, joke, it's just, like, I can't... Like, part of me can imagine it, but I also just hope it's not the fucking reality. I really hope, like it's just a YouTube video character hooked up and out with no real, like, fucking thing. Where he's, like, in the store, and he's like, oh, babe, I don't have $50 for that sweater's cool. Can you hook me up? And she's like, no. And then he's like, I'm just joking. Like, that's, like, fucking awful. That's so fucking crazy.
But I love that again. What makes me believe that it's real is that she says specifically about how I realized that everything that he said because we hear all the dumb, stupid shit this guy says. But everything, hey, like...
He's made that excuse for, like,
and I think the best part about this is not a shit the asshole because could anything be more appropriate of a fucking...
Literally and figuratively, dirty asshole.
Dirty shit. It's so appropriate because now whenever you think of it, if you weren't thinking of a dirty anus before, and I just appreciate that. It feels like balance.
I will let you down.
Wait, what's happening? What's going on?
Chris Eric wants to show you something.
Oh my god.
We have breaking news. We have the death noodles.
Breaking news.
I sent it to Will.
Wait, is this another video?
Can't break this.
Oh, it's brand spanking new. Death Noodles girl went live. Like,
she went live? No!
Where? Click it. No, click the Reddit one, not the TikTok, the Reddit one. Yeah, I would recommend it. Just know that I was dry heaving when I was watching.
That bad?
It's 10 minutes. It's something you're not going to expect. This girl is crazy. Like, actually crazy.
So does this make you feel more confident about the identity?
Yeah, well, she says she's his ex-girlfriend.
Really?
Is this, like, something that happens in the first part of the 10 minutes? Or is this, like, a thing that builds up? It's a thing that kind of, like, builds up, and then there's a point in it that made me want to throw up on the ground.
Alright, let's see. Well, do you know where? Because I don't want to watch that.
Because, like, we're not going to do a whole 10 minutes here. Yeah, alright. Yeah, true.
Wrapping up. I started.
I'm coming.
We gotta play. Just start playing. Play.
Yeah, just first play. I'll figure it out.
Match point. Blue team.
Son of a bitch. I'm working on it.
But then he's over here giving free weed and free alcohol away.
Food?
I'm not too sure. Also, once you watch it, they go to 5:15. 5:15. You just went 5:15 now.
Yeah, go right there.
I only like
Victory!
I wasn't expecting to win that one.
Full-on fucking loser. Was that a cock?
conspiracy.
Well, look, if I'm going to believe that this is real, I have to believe that all of it's real, and unfortunately, Death is packaged.
Choose
But
your
it also
character.
explains things. This is why he can get away with stuff. Every time he gets into a pickle, he just